wrestled right along the ringside without my old sidekick, Dave Brown. Davey will be back next week, and we'll be looking forward to having him back. He is going to miss a good one today. We've got some outstanding bouts coming up here. One of them is going to be our expiration of time match, and we'll just have to see how much time we have for that. It is a 10-man tag match, and that means there's going to be just that many more folks to have a lot of havoc going on when we get to that expiration of time. We've got an outstanding tag bout between the team of Sato and Goto with Yamamoto at ringside against Ken Wayne and Danny Davis, the Nightmares. Outstanding. You'll be seeing the King here, and that answers a question about loser leave town and all of that kind of thing also. In addition to that, plenty of other bouts. Let's take time right now, and we'll be back with more action right here coming up on Championship Wrestling. Right now, a couple of gentlemen, I wouldn't want to trade places with either one of them. That's David Haskins on the left and Jim Jamison on the right. And coming in, the Beast from the East to the Jaws music, Bam Bam Bigelow, getting ready for another handicap.
How long? That's what I want to know. How long do I have to wait for? I've been in this building. I've been around here a long time now. He has not yet been here. I'm looking for him. I can't find him. I ain't waiting no more. I ain't waiting. Come on. Ooh, I can't handle it.
Okay, Bam
No,
Bam.
man. I've been here. Where you at, King? Come on, baby. I'm ready. What do I got to do? I got to feed more human weight?
Bam Bam Bigelow complaining the fact that he can't get a hold of Lawler, and he does have a handicap match, and I got to tell you, it is still weighted in his favor. This guy is one of the most awesome spectacles that I have ever seen. Okay, Bam Bam, that night. For a guy this size, here they go, double. They're both in the ring at the same time, and together they're unable to get him off his feet. He goes to the ropes and cools them both down. That's Jamison. He picked up by the hair first, goes over and grabs David Haskins, headbutts him with that totally tattooed head, in case you think it's painted on with a crayon. No, it's a tattoo. Nails Jamison across the ring, slaps Haskins off his feet. This guy is so mobile for a huge person. It's hard to believe. And all he's hollering is he beats on Haskins and Jamison and intimidates the referee is, come on, Jerry. Come on, Lawler. Where are you? And out goes Jamison. Bam Bam Bigelow setting David Haskins up in the center of the ring. Suplexing him. Snaps him up. And powers him down to the mat. He obviously is just in total control of the situation. Stands right up on top of Haskins. Reaches down, grabs Jamison, pulls him back. I would have rather stayed on the outside, to tell you the truth. Bam Bam slams their heads together. Down goes Jamison. He takes Haskins in a side headlock. He's hollering, Jerry, come out and play. Oh boy. Jamison's and Haskins in a bear hug as he picks them both up. Look at that, one in each arm. That is Bam Bam Bigelow. And that's going to be the end of it. A minute and 59 seconds. Bam Bam Bigelow comes through with a victory over Jamison and Haskins. Oof, I feel sorry for them. We'll take time out. We've got more action coming up in a moment.
Hey, some great championship wrestling action coming up in Cadiz, Kentucky. That's on Thursday, August the 21st. Championship wrestling at the Trigg County High School. Championship wrestling in Springfield, Tennessee on Saturday, August the 23rd. But I want to tell you about Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum. A great card including 6 big matches. Joe LeDuc against Bam Bigelow. A return international tag championship match. Sato and Goto with Tojo Yamamoto in their corner against Pat Tanaka and Jeff Jarrett with Jerry Jarrett in theirs. A special challenge match. Tell you the stipulations a little later on with the Mod Squad against the Nightmares. First, I want to talk to Bam Bigelow against the big crazy Canadian Joe LeDuc.
Crazy Canadian? Let me tell you something, Joe LeDuc. I'm going to change your name right here, right now. Joe LePoof, baby. I'm going to flush you down the toilet. I'm the beast from the east, baby. I weigh 401 pounds. You don't jump.
All right, Bam Bigelow. I want to call in J.D. Costello. Let me remind you of the stipulation. If your team wins, the Nightmares will wear a dress from the ring. But if the Nightmares win, J.D. Costello will undergo a makeup session.
Oh, you just say that with so much enthusiasm. You know, I'm just a little bit confused about what's going on around here. Now, before matches, I've trained the Mod Squad to get in the dressing room, you sit down, you figure out your opponents, you drill, you think about your match. They even beat up themselves in the dressing room. They're hungry. They're ready for the kill. Then in the other dressing room, you've got the Nightmares, pretty little Nightmares. They sit down in front of the makeup mirror and they put on their lipstick. They fix their eyes. They put stars on it. They get out their blow dryer and fix their hair up. They spray paint their hair. What are they? Are they men or what? Hey, what is it? What is it? This is wrestling. This is professional wrestling. This is what it's all about, Nightmares. Take a look at your future, the Mod Squad.
I think it's been most surprising to a lot of people, but particularly Sato and Goto, that they have had the difficulty with Jeff Jarrett and Pat Tanaka when they've met for the International Tag Championship. Jeff Jarrett and Pat Tanaka had an opportunity to, I think, come very, very close. May very well have won the match with Sato and Goto had it not been for Yamamoto. There is a chemistry that is working with these young guys that I think has Sato and Goto baffled, and certainly Tojo Yamamoto. They will be meeting in a return match, and well, they do deserve it because they certainly look very, very well. They did well together in their match with Sato and Goto. But the next time that they meet, they're going to have somebody in their corner, and boy, is this intriguing. In the corner of Jeff Jarrett and Pat Tanaka will be Jeff's father, Jerry Jarrett. Now, stop and remember back a few years ago when Yamamoto, who will be in Sato and Goto, and remembering that Yamamoto and Goto are cousins, Yamamoto and Jerry Jarrett were not only partners, they were the Southern Tag Champs and really, really cut a great record for themselves. And now here they are with a situation with Sato and Goto and Yamamoto, Jeff Jarrett, Pat Tanaka, and Jerry Jarrett. Let's take a listen and see what Jerry had to say about this.
You know, Jeff called me when I was in Florida, and he asked me the question that so many of the fans have asked. They've asked me the same thing. Dad, what do you think happened to Tojo? What's he thinking about? And at the time, I really didn't know. And since then, I've tried to contact Tojo twice and ask him what it is. And both times, he would say hello on the telephone, and I'd say, hello, Tojo, this is Jerry, and I'd hear a click. And I think the reason that he hadn't wanted to talk to me about it is I don't think he knows. But Tojo, I can't talk to you on the telephone, but I can talk to you through this interview. And I don't think you really know what it is, but I think I finally figured it out. I think you're older than I am, and I think you're still wrestling, and I have retired. And I think all those times when we ride up and down the road and you'd talk about the young people getting in this business and how spoiled they were and how big of brats they were, I think that was the resentment that so often happens when a man is trying to compete with the younger people in any given profession. And I think that's what's happened to you. I think you resented Jeff. You came to me and you said, oh, let him team with me. Let me help him. I said, fine, Tojo, he's a man. Go to him, talk to him. Y'all work out whatever you want to. Well, you tried to help him all right out of the business. Now, I haven't interfered in any of Jeff's matches, and I don't intend to. But I want to tell you one thing, Tojo. Jeff and Pat, they had a chance to overcome the odds and upset this Japanese team. And if it hadn't been for your interference, for your sticking your nose in, they would have. All I want to tell you is that Monday night I'm going to be there, and if you stick your nose in Jeff and Pat's business, I'm going to knock some of that slant out of your eyes.
Okay, up to the ring right now. We're ready to go with the next bout. This match will be a one-fall, 10-minute time limit tag match on the left of the screen, introducing from Memphis, Tennessee, Keith Roberson, and his partner wrestling out of Montana, making his first appearance here, is Greg Gillis. Greg wrestles from Montana and is on the apron at the moment. Across the way and in the ring right now, Jeff Jarrett and his partner from Hawaii, Pat Tanaka. Referee Jerry Calhoun, and we're off and going as Roberson is in with Jeff Jarrett, who has him in a standing side headlock. Wraps the arm around, and Keith reaches out with the other hand, rips him across the eyes. And Roberson, who's a big, rough, tough guy. We've seen Keith in numerous matches. There's a tag on Greg Gillis, and what he was hollering something at Gillis. I don't know what it was. Our first look at Greg Gillis. Rolling arm, and Gillis brings it right back to Jeff Jarrett as they exchange it. Roberson is standing up there saying, hit him, hit him. Gillis thus far staying right with the rules. There's a tag on Pat Tanaka. And the Hawaiian, who's a classy young wrestler. Boy, I'll tell you, this guy will give you problems. Good, clean break. Roberson is hollering, give him the fist. Hey, don't give me that stuff. Give him the fist. Woo! Look at that kick. What a dandy. Gillis felt that one. Gillis, well-built young guy. He's average height. Boy, is he built up. And Roberson just running his mouth, while Gillis, who is impressing us as an outstanding wrestler, waist lock, he went behind, and Tanaka, over by the ropes, comes right back up on his feet. Gillis caught the standing side headlock. On the corner, there's a tag on Keith Roberson. And Roberson comes in, faces Pat Tanaka. Roberson is saying, why didn't you hold him? He wanted to get a cheap shot in on him, and he goes with a foot. Roberson's got good height, good weight. He's the tallest of the four wrestlers involved in this. We're about 2 minutes and 15 seconds in. There's a tag as Roberson holds him and telling Gillis to hit him. Gillis saying, hey, don't be mouthing off to me, and he slams his partner. Greg Gillis leaving Roberson in the ring. He just got fed up with that, and Pat Tanaka and Jeff Jarrett got him, and look at that move by Tanaka. He got him. The German suplex, he took him down and slammed him hard, got a 1, 2, 3. 2 minutes and 35 seconds, and the winners, Jeff Jarrett and Pat Tanaka. Boy, it was a dandy, too. Good move. Roberson just raising too much cane with Greg Gillis, and Gillis busted him and left him right then and there. Hey, some big news took place in an excellent wrestling town of Jackson, Tennessee. It involved the AWA Southern Tag Championship belts, and this took place just last night. We got a tape on it, and I want you to see the tag championship match between Jerry the King Lawler and the Giant Hillbilly, defending against Fire and Flame with J.D. Costello in the corner. And there is the Giant Hillbilly, who's got himself an armful while Jarrett takes care of the other side, and J.D. Costello jumps up. Here comes one of the Mod Squad Spike over there. And from behind, now the guy that jumped in there, we couldn't figure out who in the Sam Hill was interfering with the match. It resulted in a 1-2-3 while the referee was tied up, and it also resulted in the championship exchanging hands to where Fire and Flame got it. Now, you'll have to worry about whether it is a legitimate thing for them to have done that. They've got the titles. Who was the guy that threw the fireball on the Giant Hillbilly? Well, I'll tell you exactly who it was. We found out later it was Billy Spears. Now, some of you may or may not remember Billy Spears. Billy is a manager and has been around quite some time. And he comes walking in here right now with the AWA Southern Tag belts. And this is the gentleman you saw in the tape right there of the championship match that caused the entire change.
The only thing they saw, and when I walked in, was these two championship belts, and that's all they need to see. We've got them. I came here for that one purpose, and we have them right here in our possession right now.
What were you doing right there for that championship match? You don't have any involvement with Fire and Flame.
I have all right in the world to be there. I am their manager now. I have been called upon to do so. I'm here to do it. And the first night here, this is what happened. We won the belt.
Wait a minute. What happened to J.D. Costello? He was their manager, was my understanding.
Let me tell you one thing right now. I, being an ex-wrestler myself, know more about wrestling than somebody that never done it. And let me say this. I am going to remain here. I have got the flash, the flame, and the fire, and they are my men. They are going to be the champions from now on. And let me tell you one thing. I don't know what's going on, why they can't wrestle in this studio, but I want them to wrestle in the studio, and I've got my lawyers working on it. They will wrestle in this studio.
You can have your lawyers working all you want to, Billy. I want to tell you this right now. You may have had a hand in them getting back the Southern Tag Championship belts, but they are not going to wrestle in this studio. There is no call for any guys to have done what they've done, and they're not going to wrestle in this studio.
They're going to wrestle in this studio before this time today is out, right here. They're going to be right here to wrestle. I'll make sure of that. You're not going to stop them from wrestling, and there's nobody else around here going to stop them from wrestling on TV. We are the champions.
We're not going to stand out here and argue.
They are going to wrestle on TV today.
Spears, you don't have to stand out here and argue with Lance Russell. I made the decision that they're not going to wrestle here, and they're not going to wrestle here. These fans come to watch the wrestle match. They don't come for the wrestlers to bother them and injure them, and they're not going to wrestle here.
I can't help what happened before I got here, but you do see it. Everybody else sees out there. What has happened since I've been here is they are the champions right now. You can't deny that. You can't, and anybody else can't deny it. We have the belts. How we got them is our own concern, but they will wrestle on TV today.
They're not going to wrestle here.
Thank you, Eddie.
I'm going to tell you one thing right now. If that's your decision, you're going to be very, very sorry for making such a decision. You don't really understand who I am. I'm Billy Spears, and they are the champions. And you or anybody else is not going to stop them from coming on TV.
Well,
and if you do, that's going to be another tale, another story down the line. So let me tell you one thing right now. I make the decisions around here as far as wrestling is concerned and who wrestles. I manage them now. They are my team, and they are the champions.
Just keep them away from
They
here.
are your team, but they're not going to wrestle here.
Yeah, just keep them away from here, Billy. We don't need them around, and I'm glad they're not here today, so we don't have any
Right
argument.
here, that's all that counts. I've got the belts, and I'm going out there, and I'd hate to be the one to go out there and tell them that they can't wrestle on TV.
Problems. We got those to worry about maybe down the road. Right now, we're going to take time out. We'll be back with more action in just a moment.
Action returns to Springfield, Tennessee on Saturday, August the 23rd. Wrestling Thursday, August the 21st in Cadiz, Kentucky at the Trigg County High School. But right now I want to tell you about sensational 6 matches that'll happen Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum. Greg Gillis against Tracy Smothers to open up the card. Then you will see Sexy Ron Sexton against Paul Diamond. J.T. Southern will be in action against Gypsy Joe. Then comes the match we talked about. Bam Bigelow with Pretty Boy Larry Sharp against Joe LeDuc. International Tag Team Championship return with Akio Sato and Tarzan Goto with Tojo against Pat Tanaka and Jeff Jarrett. But Cherry Jarrett will be in their corner. And finally, the main event. It will be a special challenge match. If the Nightmares lose, they must wear a dress from the ring and on TV. But if the Nightmares win, JD undergoes a makeup session. Looking forward to all that great action Wednesday in Evansville.
JD Costello and the Mod Squad, who will be involved in the near future in a bout with the Nightmares. And I want to tell you the stipulations on that bout. In this match, if the Nightmares lose it, they're going to have to leave the ring in dresses, and they will have to wear them on TV so that you will see exactly what happened. But should the Mod Squad lose the match, then JD is going to have to go to a beauty parlor, we'll have more on that in a minute, and undergo a makeup and special treatment session right there at Gould's Beauty Parlor.
I want to know who comes up with these stupid asinine stipulations that they always put me under. Is it you? Is it promoter Eddie Marlin? Well, let me tell you one thing. Both of y'all have the brain about the size of a penny, and it's worth less than that, Lance Russell.
Listen, JD, just look at it this way. You're the one that brought up the fact that the Nightmares are sissies, and they wear things in their hair, and they have stars painted on their face. You're the one. It seems to me that these are perfect stipulations for me.
Let's clarify a few things right now. Apparently, a lot of the fans and a lot of people have a misconception of who I am and what I am. And let me tell you one thing. I am a real man. Do I manicure my fingers? No, I don't. Do I paint stars on my face? No. Do I put on makeup or lipstick? No. Do I curl my hair, Lance Russell? No. Do I spray it, Lance Russell? No, I don't. But who does it? The two little sissies do it. The Nightmares do it. I call them the Boy George and Tiny Tim of professional wrestling. That's exactly who they are. They go down the highway listening to Barry Manilow and Johnny Mathis and Barbara Streisand. We go down the highway listening to Led Zeppelin and Ozzy Osbourne. We crank it up all the way, and we go 90 miles an hour because we are real men.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. It is absolutely fitting that the stipulations be as they are. Let's take out just a second here, and I want you to see some of the special treatment so that you will know that JD is going to appear on television. If the Mod Squad loses, the Nightmares have already, we've said, if they lose, they will be on TV. All right, let's take a look at it. Will you hold it, JD?
You know, we got 40 hairdressers between Gould's Hickory Ridge and Gould's in the Mall of Memphis. And even the most unattractive man or woman, we can usually do a tremendous amount for them. In fact, make them look terrific. But JD is so ugly, I'm not sure what we could do for him. As a matter of fact, I think the guy needs to look in the mirror before he goes around giving other people a rough time by the way they look. You know, come Monday night, if he happens to lose, I'm going to get all my hairdressers together, and we're going to try, but we're not miracle workers. In fact, I tell you what I'll do. I'll open the place up at 8:30 that morning, even though we usually open at 10, just to see what we can do for him. JD, I'm waiting for you.
Well,
Who is that? Who is that geek? Is that the sister of the Nightmares? Is that who it is? Well, let me tell you one thing. I heard about this beforehand, and I was going to go down to his beauty salon and buy him out with my bank account. How much money do I have in my bank account, Lance Russell? What does it say? Read it loud and clear and slow.
$25 million.
That's exactly right. But after seeing that little sister on the television right now, me and Spike and Basher are just going to play him a close personal visit sometime in the next couple of hours, because let me tell you one thing, Nightmares. When you go to bed with the big boys, you wake up the next morning in pain, and we are big boys. It's all said and done.
Well, it's interesting stipulation coming up, and I hope that we're able to be there when that particular match takes place. Okay, we're ready for action in the ring, and it should be a whale of a tag match as the Nightmares Coming out here right now will be going against the International Tag Champs, Sato and Goto, and in their corner will be Tojo Yamamoto. This is a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match for television. It is a non-title bout. Referee Jerry Calhoun. Bell time, and here we go. In the ring, starting out, Ken Wayne with Akio Sato. Wow. International Tag Champs Sato and Goto against the Nightmares. Danny Davis and Ken Wayne, and look at Ken Wayne over the shoulder, takes him to the ropes, but Sato held on. Wayne rolled out of the way. There's a tag, and Danny Davis slides through the ropes and ready to continue the battle with Akio Sato. Wrist lock and takes Sato down to the mat. Hanging on to that wrist, pounded from behind. There's a tag on Goto. Tarzan Goto. Hammer Danny into the turnbuckle. Reversal. Comes in with a forearm in the midsection. Ken Wayne greets Sato as he tried to come in. Whoa! Whipped him over. And there we go with a double monkey flip. Tag champs caught with flying head scissors. And look at these Nightmares move. That's always been their trademark. They have great speed, excellent cunning, and they can really get it on. I don't care how big their opponents are. Goto has the arm reversed on him. Fall, 10-minute time limit.
There's trouble going on out there. There's something going on.
Randy Hales just hollering there's something going on. Can we stop? What it pertains to. And Goto, oh, look at out there. Good night. Jeff Jarrett being jumped by Fire and Flame. And right out in the parking lot, slammed down in the bed of the trailer that the ring is carried in. The Nightmares come out. Ken blasted by that stick, and Danny Davis almost hit by it. They're trying to break it up. Here comes some more help on the way. They got Jeff Jarrett leaving the station, obviously, after his match. There's Billy Spears. We see him out there. Fire and Flame, who jumped Jeff and slammed him right down in that ring. You saw that. The Nightmares trying to break it up. Pat Tanaka was being held by Fire and by Billy Spears, and a confrontation, and Fire and Flame pointing the finger and making accusations. Let's see if they can get Jeff back and get him taken care of. Giant Hillbilly and Eddie Marlin out there. Well, there you are. Nifty neat. Jeff Jarrett being carried inside. Okay, the match was stopped, but everybody's gone now. We're going to take time out. We can't get it restarted. We'll take time out. We'll be back in a moment. Tojo Tojo, you took your men and left. We wanted to restart the match with the Nightmares in there, and you ended up taking your guys and leaving.
Mr. Lance Russell, I'm not concerned nothing what goes outside there. You understand?
I hear what
And then I'll tell you what, the referee had no respect for the international wrestling champion. He just left the ring. You understand?
Okay.
And then I tell you what, Lance, I hear what Jerry Jarrett said on an interview. I tell you what, Jerry Jarrett now is through with me. I don't trust him. He's a two-faced. He's a double-crosser. He was no good as of today. We got no friendship whatsoever, nothing. But I tell you what, Jerry Jarrett gonna be second to his son. I'm very glad because when Jerry Jarrett gonna make one mistake and he's gonna stand up, I'm gonna bust his head. I'm gonna draw blood from his head down to the toe. You understand?
I hear what you're saying, but I also know that Jerry Jarrett can do a little of that. He doesn't like it. You turn his back on his son.
I don't turn my back around. His son turn his back around to me.
You know, Jeff Jarrett, he might need more than just father. He might need a grandpa, maybe sister, mother, grandma in the ringside.
Yeah, well...
나윤의 가네무주는 무스코네 바가 무스코치 이해니 담았디래 있네 나무. 바가로 알토가 뭐 우리 집 가로도 뭐 주라 해 주래. 바가도 우리 주라 해 주래.
바가야로 안다면 아메리칸 팀이나 바가야로.
Okay, Tojo, I don't know what you're saying, but I'll tell you one thing for a fact. You're going to find that Jerry Jarrett will be paying attention to that particular match. We're ready to go with action up in the ring right now. Keith Eric and Don Donovan in there waiting right now on an interesting team of the King and J.T. Southern. First time we've seen them together. J.T. just came into the territory recently. Good-looking young athlete out of Tampa, Florida. 1 ball, 10-minute time limit contest. There comes J.T. in. Survivor, Jerry the King Lawler. Referee is going to be Jerry Calhoun. Keith Eric, Don Donovan, both from Memphis, Tennessee, will be going against, from Tampa, Florida, J.T. Southern, and from Memphis, the King, Jerry Lawler. 1 fall, 10 minutes in time, and we are ready for the action. Bell time as Keith Eric will be starting against J.T. Southern. Lance Russell at ringside, bringing you the action of championship wrestling as Eric put down on the mat, and Southern follows him to the corner. Boy, I'll tell you. He didn't waste any time. He's not going to wait till somebody busts him with a fist till he cuts loose with it, and he tags the King. Out he goes and over the shoulder. Keith Eric takes a shot from the King. Eric stumbles to the corner after that right hand and tags Don Donovan. Lawler teaming with J.T. Southern. The more we see of Southern, the better we like it. Donovan in the corner and a backdrop as Lawler picks him up and slams him back into the turnbuckle over on the side. Snap mirrors him over the shoulder, and the referee saying, come on down off the rope. He did, with a right fist flying. Lawler tags J.T. Southern. Hey, we've still got a 10-man tag match coming up. J.T.'s got a pin. 2, 3, he's got him. Jerry Lawler, J.T. Southern, as Southern gets the pin on Don Donovan in 1 minute and 41 seconds. The winner's in there. We'll take some time out and we'll be back with a 10-man expiration of time match in a moment.
A reminder, Championship Wrestling, Thursday, August the 21st in Cadiz, Kentucky at the Trigg County High School. Championship Wrestling, Saturday, August the 23rd in Springfield, Tennessee. Right now, I want to talk about the action coming up Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum. You will see Greg Gillis against Tracy Smothers, Paul Diamond against Sexy Ron Sexton, Gypsy Joe against J.T. Southern, Bam Bigelow with Pretty Boy Larry Sharp against Big Lumberjack Joe LeDuc. Return International Tag Championship, Sato and Goto with Tojo Yamamoto against Tanaka and Jarrett with Jarrett in their corner, and a special challenge match, Nightmares against the Mod Squad. If the Nightmares lose, they must wear a dress, and if J.D. Costello's team lose, he will undergo a makeup session. Joe LeDuc in action against Bam Bigelow.
What you want to talk now? You talk about Bam Bigelow. You talk about Fire and Flame. You talk about Joe LeDuc. I want to talk about Joe LeDuc. I like to talk about Joe LeDuc and Fire and Flame and Billy Spears and all the fire that you carry in your pants. It's going to come to an end. Bam Bigelow, the beast from the east. And Fire and Flame, it's all together. I don't care where are you from. I can fight the devil if I have to, but I am going to get to Fire and Flame. I have to wrestle Bam Bigelow Wednesday night. You're a big boy. You're a strong boy. You're a heavy boy. You got tattoo. You got everything. You're a young boy. But you don't have Joe LeDuc yet.
This is going to be an interesting bout in many respects. One, it's 10 men, and secondly, we've got a brand new team coming in here. On one side of the ring, you're going to be looking at the rugged Memphis Vice and the Mod Squad, joined by Ron Sexton out of Knoxville, Tennessee. That's one half of it. And on the other side of the ring, Jerry Garman, Benny Traylor, to be joined by the Demolition Express. Now, the Demolition Express, made up of Charles and James Atlas, Tony Atlas's brothers, and the third man is Rock Steady with the valet Starlight in the corner. So that will make your 5 men over on that side of the ring. Starting out, Rock Steady looks like will be the man going against Ron Sexton. Sexton snaps him over, tags Big Lou Winston. Big Lou pounding away on Rock Steady. Demolition Express, Jerry Garman, Benny Traylor on one side of the ring.
Who are these geeks, Lance Russell? They started at the bottom and they stayed there. This is the high point of their wrestling career, and after today, it's over with.
Well, into the ring, after Basher comes Spike. And Rock Steady is still taking a little punishment. Ooh, spears him hard, and down he goes.
Spike does some of the most beautiful tackles you'll ever see in professional wrestling. Let me talk to you a minute about Fire and Flame. Let's clarify a few things. You know,
yeah, I'm curious about that, Jay.
Let me tell you about it. You know, I took those 2 fat slobs under my wings, and I taught them everything I know. I'm glad to be rid of them right now. You know, I've got a food bill, a drink bill of over $10,000. I begged them to go to the gym every day and to work out. Did they? No. They would sleep. They're lazy. They'd sleep till 12 o'clock every morning. Then they'd get up. They'd argue about who was going to go out and buy the cakes and the coats and the pies and everything. They'd come back. They'd eat up all of that. Then they'd go back to the grocery store and buy grits by the ton load, Lance Russell. I couldn't handle it anymore. Had to get rid of them. They were costing me money. They weren't making any money. And I'm in this business for one thing, and that is to make money.
Well, you're rid of him now. Billy Spears said that he was their manager previously and that you stole him away from him.
Well, I'm going to give Billy Spears my books that I bought him, the kindergarten books of ABCs, because I was having a real hard time teaching them how to read and to write.
Okay, in the ring right now, it is Big Lou and Charles Atlas, who's going at it. Lou drops down with the elbow.
You know, he says he's the brother of Tony Atlas, and I just sort of got to laugh at that. Everybody tries to make a name for themselves in professional wrestling, but you certainly don't do it at the hands of Spike and Basher.
Rocksteady in now with Spike. He's whirled around in the corner. There's a tag, knee to the midsection, and Basher from the outside. The referee with his hands full, as we've got 2 or 3 guys pounding on Rocksteady over in the corner. Jerry Bryant out with him. Goes down, count of 1. Side headlock tag on Ron Sexton. Sexton up with a body slam down in the center of the ring. Count of 1 is all he got. Sexton trying to roll him over. He does. Gets a count of 1, and again the shoulder comes up.
What do you think of the Nightmares coming out here saying everything they've got to say? This special stipulation about me going to a beauty salon. Do you think for 1 minute I'm going to do anything like that? A man like me, a man with money like I've got, I don't have to do anything. With my bank account, I can do as I well please.
I would certainly hope that you would live up to the stipulations and the rules of the match in there, JD, and it's just the way the match is made with the stipulations. I just hope that I'm going to be there to see either the Nightmares wear the dress or see the results of you going to a beauty shop.
Look at this. Look at Spike and Basher. Well, you know, Lance Russell. Whoa, wait a minute. Look at here. Beautiful.
Basher double-handing Jerry Garman, and that's a 1. Was that a 1, 2, 3? Yes. And as the bell sounds, it's a 1, 2, 3. And the winners, the Mod Squad, the Memphis Express, and Ron Sexton in that fall. We'll take time out. Be back in a moment. For the second fall of action in our 10-man tag match, we still got some time coming up, and we'll have an opportunity if we can get the guys back out here to get it going. If not, we got an awful lot of talking to do. Here comes the referee. Here comes the Memphis Vice, Jerry Bryant and Big Lou Winston. Ron Sexton and Spike and Basher out with J.D. Costello. And across the way, Benny Traylor, Jerry Garman, and Rocksteady, Charles and James Atlas, and their valet, Starlight. Big arguments going on. Who's going to start? And this is the way it is. This is who's going to start. Jerry Garman and Basher started out. There's a tag on Jerry Bryant right off the bat. Referee finally gets them separated as Garman and Bryant going at it. There's a twist tag on Benny Traylor.
Lance Russell, I'm still very upset. And now I look out here and see fans coming with their hair spray painted the color of the Nightmares and wearing stars on their face. What is this? Is this a conspiracy? Are those your daughters out there? Did you have them brought out here?
Now, I'll tell you what it may be. It may be the fact that it's catching on, and J.D., if the Mod Squad, whenever they meet the Nightmares, lose, you may very well have that look. There you see him right there, as it may be a look that you'll be having.
Lance, why don't you blow your brains out? You don't have much to lose. On that, I will lose.
I certainly hope so. You just made my day. Okay, Sexton with one of the Atlas brothers. Lou tags Ron Sexton, and coming into the ring now, Sexton takes over where Big Lou left off with the knee whip across the ring. And down on the mat. Look at that big elbow. Ron Sexton. Count of 1, 2. There's a tag on Spike. As our 10-man tag finds the Demolition Express, James and Charles Atlas, and Rock Steady going against the formidable opponents, Mod Squad, Memphis Vice, and Ron Sexton. Benny Trailer in. Tags Rock Steady. Steady off the ropes, down on the arm. Hip toss, over he goes. Steps over. Spike down on the mat. As Rock Steady hangs on to the Mod Squad member Spike. They're over close to the corner of the Demolition Express, and he pulls Spike back down on the mat. There's a tag on one of the Atlas brothers, who takes over. Bars that arm up at the shoulder, and Spike pulls him loose down on the mat. Tag, and who's coming in? Jerry Bryant. This has got to be James. And there's a tag on Benny Trailer, and Trailer in there with Jerry Bryant. Nice drop kick from Trailer.
That's Russell. Don't I have the distinction of doing what I say I'm going to? You don't have to answer that. I will. Of course I do. After the TV show today, I'm personally going to draw out about $3,000 or $4,000 out of my bank account and buy some real nice dresses for the Nightmares, because after our matches, they're going to have to be wearing them.
Well, that's one of the stipulations, and it's going to be most interesting to see. We've seen the dress match before, and the Nightmares have agreed to that part of it. The makeup session for J.D. Costello is a brand new one on us, but I think the Nightmares had a good idea, since you've been calling them sissies and all the other things that have gone with it, J.D.
Lance Russell, would you put makeup on your face? No, you wouldn't. I don't think so anyway. Would you curl your hair? Would you spray your hair? I don't think so. And I'm sure any boy or any sissy that would do that, you would call them exactly what I call them, little sissies that should be not in professional wrestling, that deserve their outcast of rock and roll. They tried to be in a rock and roll band one time, and they just couldn't make it, so they said, let's go into professional wrestling. Well, those two little boys, they're not making it in professional wrestling. Anybody who colors their hair and puts makeup on their face has something to hide.
Okay, J.D., I think we've exhausted that subject pretty well, and right now it's Big Lou Winston in the ring with one of the Atlas brothers, and Big Lou puts the big foot on him. Big Lou, front face lock as he's back over to the corner, and Jerry Bryant takes over. Over the shoulder, snapped down by Jerry. One half of the Memphis Vice, very quick in the ring. And he is in control right at the moment as Atlas picked up from his knees in the air. And a body slam from Jerry Bryant. Back over and tags Ron Sexton. Sexton drives in, waist lock, turns him over and slams him down on the mat. Tag on Spike, and the big Mod Squad member comes in, plants a foot in the midsection. First fall went to the team of the Mod Squad, Memphis Vice, and Ron Sexton, and they are totally leading in this ball. Atlas down on the ring apron makes a tag. see who it is. Jerry Garman, I believe it is. No, it's Benny Trailer. Benny is back in with Basher of the Mod Squad. Big power slam from Benny. As Ron Sexton gets the call. Our time is running out on Championship Wrestling as we've had a lot of kind of 1, 2, 3. He got him. Benny Trailer is pinned. Trailer is the one that was pinned in the second fall of action as the Mod Squad, the Memphis Vice, and Ron Sexton come out victorious in 2 straight falls as the referee's been told to use some illegal tactics and so forth. But the end result is 2 falls go to the Mod Squad and the Memphis Vice, with Ron Sexton as the 5th man on that side of the ring, and they are the winners. Let's once again take a look at the action that took place on the program today. Unfortunately, we had one we were really looking forward to, the Nightmares and Sato and Goto. That bout was interrupted when kind of a brawl broke out on the parking lot outside the studio with a fire and flame hammering away on Jeff Jarrett out there. And Yamamoto said, hey, I don't have to stand there and watch somebody outside. We just leave, and that's what they did. So Lawler and JT Southern ended up with a victory. We got to go. Davey will be back next week. We'll be looking